guys, welcome to our humble schoolhouse. My name's Christina, and today I wanted to share with you our term 2 update. So I realize on this channel I don't officially have videos as to what my kids were using this year, so I will go ahead and just give a recap of what we're using now. Come term 3, we're in the home stretch of finishing our homeschool year, so we are excited about that. And term 2 went well. You know, holidays, all of that. We had a lot of fun. We rested when we needed to. We did have a loss. We lost our older puppy, who was 17, and we have a new puppy here. This is Billy, and she is 3 months old, and she's gonna be a big girl. Right, baby? Yeah. So, I'm gonna kind of just give a recap of what we've been doing, what we're doing now, what we put down. Here's my first grader's work. So he has finished some things. He did a health unit that he finished. He's finished his Piggy math. So this is level 1 math lessons for living education. We finished this yesterday. So we are gonna just work on some basic concepts practice. I like MCP math. We've just been using it for practice. As you can see, there's like more problems and just kind of goes over a concept over and over and over and over. So there's just a few things I think I want him to work on before we move into level 2. I have that, so we're going to spend, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks just practicing some things, and then we'll move into level 2. So that is planned for term 3, math for him. For reading, we started the year with Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. We got to lesson 66, and I felt like it was a good time to move away from this. You know, sticking to something like this for us can feel a little tedious. But I absolutely recommend this. I wish I would have started with this from the beginning. I started with, so a good part of last year we were probably using that, and I just didn't like the layout of it. And so I wanted to try something a little simpler. We tried this. It worked beautifully. So we got to this lesson, and I decided to move away from this. So then we picked up the McGuffey primer, which he had started last year as well, but I decided to restart him. So we got to, let's see, lesson 26. So we were reading the story, and he was doing copy work from it. So this is a free printable you can get from underthehome.com, and they have all the McGuffies free on there that you could just read off the computer, and then they have printable workbooks that go along with it. So if that's something you were looking to try or something, you can try them before maybe investing in the books. But yeah, that was working out really well. He was getting his handwriting in. He had finished his Pen Time 1 book, so this kind of, you know, filled that of handwriting for him. But then I also had these, and so he was getting a little, I don't want to say bored, but you know, it just wasn't something he was excited to do. I had the Pathway readers from first grade, so we decided to start these, and he's actually enjoying this format quite a bit. So again, with these, some of the stories have something for me to read first. Let's see if I can, yeah, so this is what I would read to kind of set up the story, and then he will come in and read the rest of it. So there's new sight words that are introduced, and he reads the story, and then it starts over, and then that would be the next day. You can also break this up maybe into a couple days. We have been utilizing the workbooks, which I really like. We don't do all of it, as you can see, but it's been, what, a page front and back. So some of it is just finding the match. So you're matching words. You're working on word families, which these could be like cut out and pasted, but we just use color coding. And I really like this part where I tell him the word and he has to figure out which letter is missing by sounding it out or by remembering the rules that we've gone over. So I really like this portion here, which is just kind of helping with spelling. There's reading comprehension, so remembering what the character in the book said, filling it up with the word bank. So he's actually really enjoyed doing this. This page is good. There is some cutting and pasting. We did try the cutting and pasting, so that's again just matching the statements, getting an eye for what the words look like, figuring out words that rhyme and putting them where they belong. So we really like that. So he wants to continue with this, so this is what we're doing for his reading, and his reading is just getting better and better. He, still is gaining confidence. So this is something we do together. And I think there's 2 other books from the first grade. So we're just going to move through it at his pace. Once we finish this one, we'll move into the next one. So that is what we're doing for reading. And he's also working on language lessons for living education level 1. And there's some things we're not doing in here. We're not doing the spelling, and I'm not even using, they're using like the not too small at all. There's a few books that they incorporate, but it's not such a smooth reading format, so we're skipping a lot of this. But new rules and things that are introduced, I'm going over with him. He's doing, the basic phonics work that's in here. And we're not doing the spelling, we're leaving that out. So we should move through this fairly quickly. This is only 18 lessons, I believe, are in this. This is what you would consider a half semester course. But you can, draw it out for an entire year. But we're just using it for just some basic grammar introduction and all of that. And he likes the little activities and different things in here. So we're working on that, and he's also working on Explode the Code. So this is still not completely independent. I work with this. We work together on this. So this is the level 1, and I have the 1.5. So we're just gonna move through those. I like using the half books just for extra practice when it comes to the phonics. So that is basically, he's also, since we've finished his Earth unit, he is back to the first nature reader. He did the Kinder book last year, and we started this last year as well, but we never finished it. So we're just reading a story, and he is writing whatever the animal is, the insect, and drawing a picture. So that's what we're doing for his science, and he's loving that. He's always excited when we have a lesson in this. So I'll go ahead and share with you. We're doing some sight word practice. So these came from Pathway as well. And there are sight words on one side and then statements on the other, so he can make sentences and put them together like that. So these are all the ones that have been introduced, so we're just going to go over them. A lot of these he knows, but just for extra practice. So That's something we do before our lessons start. We finished Understood Betsy, which, fantastic book. Such a good book. I had never read this when I was younger, so this was a read aloud. We also read The Last Safe House, A Story of the Underground Railroad, another fantastic book. If you're doing this time period in history, I recommend this. Just gives a little insight into the time period. There's activities, crafts. I think there's some recipes in here as well. Here you can build a lantern. Just really good stories on kind of just an understanding of the Underground Railroad from the point of view of someone who was being taken through it and being hidden. So this is a look of a plantation and what different houses in different areas would represent. So this was definitely a book we learned a lot from, and my daughter was, for her health, working through this book. We just did this together, me and her. Took some time in the day to read through it. A lot of this me and her had already discussed, but there were some things that sparked new conversation. So we finished that as well early on term 2. So those are some books that we finished. We do have some books we've added. So this is our morning basket. We've added The Great Turkey Walk. We are enjoying this. And The One and Only Ivan. There are some evolutionary ideas in here coming from the perspective of the gorilla that I've skipped over because, you know, we don't believe that. So we kind of just leave that out. And then the story of Harriet Tubman, Freedom Train, we are working through. We're almost done with this one. We should finish this this week, actually. And On the Banks of Plum Creek, we are reading this as well. This is a slow go for us. I would say this is probably not our favorite of the series. This is our 4th one, I believe. Yeah, but the first 3 we read, we loved. So yeah, but we are chugging along with that one. And we also are reading The Great Wheel, which we just started. So we're excited for this. This talks about the World's Fair that was in Chicago in the Ferris wheel, which is exciting because we are from Chicago. So we are excited to read that. That's something we started last week. So for my daughter, she's currently reading Katie Woodlawn. There's a Katie, I think it's Katie. Katie Woodlawn. She's almost done. She's enjoying this book. She's pretty much read through most of what I have put aside for her to read, her required reading this year. She might just have, I think she's got a biography. But yeah, these are all books she has read. I will do an end of year recap of all of that. What book she likes the most, anything she recommends, all of that. She's working through her Pen Time 4. I absolutely love these handwriting books, and her cursive has gotten so beautiful. So she is working through God's Big Story. This is from Generations. She has really enjoyed doing this as well. These workbooks are massive, but she has worked through them quite well. So she is on chapter 40 with this. Math. Whoops, losing cards here. She is working through math level 4. We started the year with MCP mathematics, and she just she decided, you know what, I want to go back to math lessons. She is my first kid, of course, that I started homeschooling. So we've been homeschooling now this is our 4th year, and we started with this. And then I was getting it in my head that she needed more, blah, 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 you know, watching probably too many other content creators, and so I decided to kind of move her away. So she's my kid where we kind of like moved math a few times, and I kind of wish we just stuck with it and pushed through, because now in my 4th year of homeschooling, I just realized math is just one of those things. All the concepts are the same. You just have to stop, work on things, maybe extra practice. It's not really the curriculums. It's just kind of thinking outside of the box and trying to figure out different ways that you can teach those concepts to your kids. So instead of moving around so much, I think I finally realized in my homeschool journey, but we are back to it. She's enjoying it. I may just get the academy portion for her, because there's like a video component that goes with this level. I probably will sign her up for that just so she can watch some video lessons on new concepts and all of that. So you're enjoying this. We started at an accelerated pace, and now we're just kind of like moving through it. So I'm not really worried about it. I do have the next level when she's ready. She is working through language lessons for living education level 4. And we aren't doing like the reading portion in here, but we are doing spelling. So she has her spelling. She does do her spelling. I just pulled the worksheet from this book and her word sheet that goes with the lesson. We stick it in her folder and she works on it. Her dictionary work and all that goes in here as well. So we do use that, and she is working on Explorers Earth Geography. This is something we're doing together. Now most of this we're just doing as kind of like a read aloud. Me and her sit together and read through it. There are some worksheets that I've had her done, but we don't do all of them. It depends what it is. And if I think, you know, she needs a little more reinforcement. But there's a lot of good information here, so most of it we're doing orally. So we're almost there. What are we on? Week 25, and I think there's 36 weeks. 32, what is it? Yeah, I think there's 36 weeks in here. So we're almost there. Pushing through this, and history as well. She is just keeping a history notebook. So we are in America's Story 2. And we are on chapter 22. So we've enjoyed this. It's been fun. Lots of new information that we've enjoyed. So we'll be reading from this book, Coming to America, The Story of Immigration. Probably next week we'll read through it, because we're on immigration part 1, and then there's a part 2 as well. This is a topic, you know, that I think is important. And, you know, my mom wasn't born here. My husband's father wasn't born here. It's kind of the beauty of America and the possibilities that were available for people. But I want them to understand the beginnings of it, and then we can talk about what's happening now currently in our country, because they know we do talk about current events and different things. We have those conversations. So I want, you know, just to continue to clarify the difference of what it was, what it has become. And so we can talk about that, because they're going to need to know and understand those sorts of things with whatever the future is here. So we will be reading that. And let's see. I think that is the majority of what I wanted to share, kind of what we're doing. what we've done. A new resource has been fun for my kids that we picked up randomly at a Sam's Club is the Action Bible, Faith in Action edition. So this is a recent edition. We don't have the original Action Bible, but this is a really fun resource, and the kids just sit down and do this together. My daughter will read to my son, and they'll go through. Now in here there's QR codes, and it takes you to an app which has devotionals and a video to watch, which kind of dives deeper into, right now they're still in just the beginning, so they learned about courage and stories that pertain to that, faith. So they're currently on this one. So yeah, they just go to the QR code, and there's videos, devotionals, games, just a really kind of interactive, fun way to go through this. Of course, this is just your probably frequently told Bible stories. This is not, the entire Bible, but the pictures are vivid and beautiful, and it's been fun. So they're doing that together. That's something they don't even really do in school hours, which I don't think we really have school hours, but they work through that. So we've enjoyed this resource. I thought I would share it with you guys because it's just so beautiful and vibrant. So they are enjoying that. There is a devotional that my daughter is using that she's been enjoying. It's this Girl's Guide to Making Really Good Choices. So she's been working on this. She does this independently. So she's almost done with this. She's got a little bit left. But that's what she does independently for like her Bible and devotional time. So that is basically what's been going on, how our term 2 has gone. The holidays went really well. We're obviously now preparing for spring, and just waiting for the warmer weather so we can get outside, do the garden and all of that. Let me know how your year's going. Drop those comments down below, and if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you on the next video, guys. Bye.